Hello all, myself Mahadik, Assistant Professor at Department of Statistics, YCIS, Satara. Today we are going to discuss C programming language. So let's start with history of C programming language. C language developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972. At that time he was employee of the American Telephone and Telegraph Lab at USA. Dennis Ritchie called the father of C programming language. C programming language is the extension of B programming language. B language developed by Ken Thompson in 1969 based on basic programming language. The drawback of B programming language was the absence of the data types. Dennis Ritchie added data types and many other minor changes in a B language to convert B language to the C language. Initially, C language was designed to develop Unix operating system. Nowadays, many popular operating systems like Windows, Linux still written in a C. So now you have a question in your mind. After the development of 3 decades, why C is so popular? Because when it comes to the performance, no other programming language can beat C language. When I say performance, means the time required to execute the program. Also, C is the very simple, reliable and easy language. Because of these two reasons, C is still so popular. So now we will see what is the language and what is the computer language. Language is nothing but set of instruction and people use language for the communication purpose. While speaking in a family and with friends, you are using your native language because everyone can understand your native language very well. Now suppose you have to do some task using the computer, then you have to communicate with the computer in which language that computer can understand. But computer not able to understand your native language directly. Computer can understand only machine languages. So we required some programming language. Now we will see how to learn the programming language. Actually, there is a close analogy between learning English language and learning the programming language. Now suppose you are learning English language. There is a classical method of learning English is to first learn the alphabets used in English language. Then learn how to create words using these alphabets. Once you learn how to create words, then learn how to create sentences using these words. And when you combine the number of sentences, it forms paragraphs. Yeah, this is the simplest method to learn English. Similarly, learning C is the very simpler and easier. So instead of writing program straight away, first of all you have to learn what alphabets, numbers and special symbols are used in C language. Then learn using these alphabets, digits and special symbol how to construct a constant, variables and keywords. Then using the constant, variable and keyword to learn how to form an instruction. And group of instruction is nothing but a program. Now we will see what is the need of the programming language. Now suppose you have to do some simple basic calculation like 3 plus 2. You can do this calculation easily. Now suppose you have to do some complex calculations like factorial of very large number. It is very hard to do such complex calculations manually. For such a complex calculation we require help from the computer. But computer cannot do this calculation by its own because computer cannot think like human. But advantage of the computer is once we pass detailed instruction to computer to do some specific task, computer can sit for you without board until that task is completed. And you cannot pass this instruction to the computer in your language because computer cannot understand these languages. Also, computer can only understand the machine languages. But it is very hard to write code in machine language, so we need have a programming language. So but it is very hard to write code in a machine language, so we need have a programming language. Using programming language also you cannot communicate with the computer directly, so you need have a compiler, and compiler is nothing but piece of software which converts the programming language into the machine language. So then machine code is act as the input for your computer, and then computer gives us desired output. We have seen what is the programming language. Programming language is nothing but set of instruction for a computer to do some specific tasks. Now we will see classification of the computer language on the basis of the how computer understands that languages. Programming languages are mainly classified into two groups: low level languages and high level languages. Low level languages are further classified as machine level languages and the assembly level languages. In machine level language, computer only understands digital numbers, that is in the form of 0 and 1. In machine level language, computer only understands digital number, that is in the form of 0 and 1. So instruction given to the computer is in the form of binary digit. So it is difficult to implement instruction in a binary code. Program in the form of binary code is not portable and it is very difficult to maintain. So it might be possible to get more error. Also, it is very hard to understand. So people developed assembly languages. Assembly language is the modified version of machine languages. In assembly languages, instruction are given in alphanumeric symbols like add, sum. In assembly languages, instruction are given in alphanumeric symbols like add, sum, etc. So to writing a code in assembly language is easier than the machine code. But assembly language is also not understood by computer directly. So we need have a translator. Here that translator is called as assembler, which converts assembly level code into machine level code. Now we will see high level languages. In high level computer languages, we can write a code similar to the English languages. So basically high level language is the symbolic language that uses English words and mathematical symbols rather than alphanumeric symbols. Like assembly language, also high level language is not understood by computer. To convert high level language to machine level, we use the translator. So here translator used is compiler and interpreter. Now we will see the different type of translators. As we see, high level languages are not understood by computers directly. So we required the piece of software which converts that high level language into the machine level languages that can computer understand very well. So basically there is main three type of translator. One is the compiler, second is interpreter, and third one is the assembler. Compiler and interpreter are used to convert high level language to machine level languages. So the code written in high level programming language is called source code. Compiler reads source code at a time, check for error. If there is no error, then convert this source code to machine code directly. Interpreter read a single line of code at a time instead of a whole code to convert machine code. So interpreter takes more time than compiler to convert source code into the machine code. And assembler is the translator that used to convert assembly language to machine level language. Now suppose you have to write a first program, then we need have an environment where we can write a code, edit and compile a code. Upon this operation managed by single integrated applications known as an integrated development environment. In short, we call it as IDE. So there is a many IDE available for C programming language. But we will see Turbo C++, which is mostly used, and another one is the code blocks, which looks simpler for me. In next lecture, we will see how to install this IDE for Windows system and write a first C program. Then you can choose any one IDE which looks simpler for you. Thank you.